Hello, Nomads, and welcome to episode 116 of the Nomads of Fantasy podcast. Obey, consume, marry, reproduce. No thought, no independent thought. Who do I have with me? There's no context for that. Who do I have with me in this episode? I have Dave.
I've walked the white line my entire life. I'm not about to screw that up. White line's in the middle of the road, bro. That's the worst place to drive.
I have Brandon.
Brother, life's a bitch. She's in heat.
Good delivery. And with us today, special guest, Mike from Games My Mom Found.
If no one else said it, I will. I came here to chew bubblegum and record podcasts, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
There you go.
There
I like the change up. If you don't recognize these quotes and, subliminal messages, they are from John Carpenter's They Live from 1988. The science fiction, action, horror, comedy. I don't know. There's a lot of different genres in here.
A lot of things, yeah.
/ B movie.
Definitely B movie,
Yeah.
for sure. There's a lot of B movie action.
A little too close to reality sometimes.
Right. If you're not watching the video version, you should. YouTube.com/@nomadsoffantasy, because we all have our cool sunglasses on, so we can see the reality that is hidden around us.
You didn't get the contacts?
Yeah, right.
All of
That's
a
true.
sudden have those.
I have my contacts and glasses on, so I'm double coverage. I'm seeing right through them.
I give you a terrible headache in that.
Yeah,
moment.
that's true. That's true. I don't know. I wish they explored that more. Like, you put the contacts in, then put the glasses on. Would your head just explode? I don't know.
Explore anything else more.
Hold your thoughts on this movie before we get into
To
it.
watch.
I feel a vibe coming off some of us, which I think it'll be an interesting conversation, because I think there might be some different takes in here. But before we get to that, the main meat of the show, I'll throw it over to Dave for a little schedule action to tell us what's coming
me
up.
First. Excellent. Yes, this week is They Live from 88. Next week we are jumping over to The Witch. Is that pronounced correctly?
I think it's just The Witch.
Witch.
Like,
But it's clearly two V's next to each other.
it's just
making
stylized.
a W.
It's
Or
for
is it
the
like-
style.
Like Witch, like a German person saying witch.
I don't know.
Like,
I
come
know.
over here, ya Witch.
I don't know anything about the movie, so I'm going. I know it's a Robert Eggers joint, which I'm excited about. So we shall see.
Yeah, that one looks fun. And then continuing the
Fun. That's a word
continuing the
for it.
October month of horrible things that we're watching. Indie horror games. So I'm excited to get some of those in, because I don't know, indie games are always fun. I love those episodes because you just get to play a lot of random stuff. So
Mike is always crushing games on his podcast, Games My Mom Found. So you might have to, in our Discord, throw some out there for us, because I might. The idea is awesome. I think I came up with it. I was like, this sounds like a fun thing to do, but I don't know if I know that many, so I might need somebody to throw some.
There's a few walking sim horror games that are actually out there.
okay,
Great.
I have a couple
If
in
I can-
mind.
Walking.
I have a
Okay.
couple in mind that I want to check out for the show, but
Okay, because
okay.
I don't play as many indie games as I play old games. But
true.
I'll see what I can do. I'll look up, see if I can find
Yeah,
something.
there's some on Game Pass, some on like Epic Game Store that I've claimed over the years. So I got a couple I want to check out. But speaking of Mike is one of our most returningest guests on this show with his podcast Games My Mom Found. But if you haven't heard Mike before, if this is your first episode of the Nomads of Fantasy, I don't know, Mike, tell us a little bit about what Games My Mom Found is about.
Kind of is it? It's a retro video game podcast, but also covers movies, comic, TV seasons, just whatever I convince people to talk about me. Right now, we've been doing a lot of Star Wars this year, so we're about to do Ahsoka hopefully next month. But right now, everything's all spooky stuff when you're hearing this, so we're just doing tons of horror movies and games that I don't really actually want to play, but I'm covering because I am a sucker. So
Mike does a lot of stuff for his podcast. He's always playing something. He's always watching something.
3 episodes a week on average,
which is just insane. Like we reduced our output, and to give ourselves a little bit of a break, and it's still like, Wednesday rolls around. Oh, I gotta watch this movie for the podcast. So it's like I commend you.
Well, we've been
for
busy.
What you do.
Hold on, just before because Eric, we just launched our new website.
Oh, we can't gloss over. That's true. We maybe not with the the podcast.
I'm going on the record saying it's one of the most innovative,
that's true,
creative, unique, well-designed podcast websites out there. And if you think that I'm being pompous and arrogant and all that stuff, show me another one that's better.
It's true.
Show me. Go to nomadsoffantasy.com and then tell me if I'm wrong.
I mean,
sorry.
Brandon designed it. I built it. Dave built the merch store. We all contributed to this one. So yeah, we got merch out there too.
When you go to the hamburger icon on the phone and it does the sword animation, like that's nice. That's nice.
It's a little touch.
You gotta
it's just the little touches,
Yeah, man. Good job. I'm proud of
fancy.
That one. So
it's fancy.
Yeah.
Big shout out to ourselves.
Yep, and we'll be.
By the way, I think Mike, your podcast is on there. We have a little spot for like guest podcasts. So we have you and a 40-year-old looks at gaming.
We have gamer looks at 40-year-old looks at we have 4 on our guest playlist right now. We have Games My Mom Found, Gamer Looks at 40, Best of the Rest with Chris Logan, which is also a returning guest. We gotta have him on again soon. And also Anime Talk. He's with Matt St. Jack. He's been on our show a couple times too.
Oh yeah.
For the Harry Potters, and I talked anime with him a little bit. So yeah, if you want to guest on our show,
you'll like them.
Right. If you want to guest on our show, join our little whatever we're doing here.
It's about a couple thousand hours of podcasting all on one page, and you don't have to leave it, and you don't. It's kind of
right. We built our own custom podcast player. Like it's legit.
Well, it's cool because we also so the thing is like why I only brought it up is because, and really why I designed it is I was on Netflix, and I just like how Netflix is like there's a lot of movies out there, right? There's a lot of TV shows out there. Let's organize them by playlists. Let's curate by topic. So we've done a lot. I don't know. So we're trying to just kind of help you when you're on your podcast, when the episode's over, then what, right? So, like, we're trying to have a playlist for people to just kind of have something, if you like this and you might like that kind of thing. So it's kind of
and it works for us because we cover so many different topics. Like, we have categories now. So, like, if you only want to listen to our video game content, you can just do the video game playlist. Star Wars, horror, sci-fi. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll be adding to it. Definitely with the initial launch, it's in a good spot, but we want to do more with it in the future. So just keep it tuned to the nomadsoffantasy.com. Also, if you want to, get in touch with us, either be a guest on the show or just hang out with us, you can join our Discord, the nomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. The link's on the website as well. Just click the join the Discord button and you'll hop in there and start chatting with us. But enough of that. Let's talk about. Let's get to what we really came here for, and it is
to obey,
right? Must
to reproduce
about.
Have you guys all seen this movie before?
No.
Okay.
None of us. That's what's juicy about this episode.
I'm surprised that you guys never like you guys weren't exposed to this before.
Well, I've seen
kind of what it got on the list because just never seen it.
You hear quotes and you see like gifs from this movie, and I've seen that brawl in the alley before in some random other place. Just it's nice to get some context here. So.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw this. I knew a guy in high school, so it'd been like 2004, and he just loved movies, and he would just borrow me DVDs every day and want me to watch them. And he was the one that let me borrow this movie, and that was the first time I ever saw it. And I hadn't seen it since then. I didn't realize that until when you guys brought it up. I'm like,
almost 20 years. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't remember. I remembered some, but I'm surprised that you guys haven't been exposed to this movie. My wife, who loves horror movies, had never seen this, and she's seen a lot of weird ass movies. Like it's just, I'm surprised it's kind of like slipped through the cracks.
Especially when it's a John Carpenter.
Yeah.
movie. Like that's what's I know, dude. I know. It's just one of those. We all have those great movies or popular or culturally relevant movies or something like that we all talk about, but never saw it.
It's true.
It just happened that the three of us never saw this one.
That is true. All right. Well, let's take a little break here, and when we come back, we will talk about John Carpenter's They Live. welcome back.
Knuckle.
We are here to talk about They Live, 1988, John Carpenter film, as we said at the top of the show. Oh, wait. Something I forgot to do in Act 1. Completely forgot. I feel like I'm all discombobulated. Is the social section. Because we did get some socials for this one. Over on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, I guess I can say that. We asked what did everyone think of They Live. Got a couple responses. Cinema Recall says, not my favorite John Carpenter. That belongs to Big Trouble in Little China, which we talked about that one too, and Mike also joined us on that one.
So fucking good.
Yes.
But it's a fun movie with good story that would fit in most time periods. Roddy Piper and Keith David have the most iconic fight in history.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Kylan Savage says 10 out of 10, no notes. Okay, beautiful. And we also got
Straight.
a response in our Discord as well from our good buddy Tejas.
Jesus.
Again, nomadsfantasy.com/Discord if you want to join over there. But let me at least scroll up and find it, because there's been a lot of discussion in our Discord today. Active Discord. So hop in, chat with us. But Tejas says, They Live is a movie that oozes 80s filmmaking, from the cityscapes to the sci-fi premises. The commentary about capitalism and the consumerism culture is pretty straightforward and on the nose, but does not detract from the movie. It enhances the entire premise. Great effects and interesting mystery light plot, making this an all-time classic. So Tejas, big fan of this movie.
He enjoys it.
Yes, absolutely. I guess I'm curious just to get everybody's takes before we even get into anything. I want to go around and just get everyone's general takes on the movie. Let's start over there with cool guy Brandon with the shades.
Shades on
Only
the
with so many
arm
sunglasses.
cross. Shit.
Oh man, I hate to be the one that's gonna start us off with this, but I don't know if I'm that hot on this movie. It's like one of those movies where I appreciate the cultural significance. The moments that I knew outside of the movie definitely live up. Kinda. Like the fight.
Sure.
The sunglasses motif and all that stuff it's great. Acting is bad. The soundtrack is forgettable. The story is clunky as hell. It has a very the first act is just so slow and pointless, and I know like they're building up for something and it just does not pay off for me. I struggle connecting with any of the characters outside of I like the main character. Some woman was brought in, I don't even remember her name.
Holly.
She only has like two or three. Molly. She has like two or
Holly,
three scenes.
excuse me. Give
He
her
yells it enough.
her due.
Holly.
Right?
Holly,
Where's Holly?
Do you know
It's just-
Holly?
right, we're looking for her. Why do we care about her? She has
Why
she's been like in the movie for like 2 minutes. So I personally wanted to really like this movie because I do like Carpenter, and I just see Halloween was before this by like 10 years. I saw that he did another big The Thing, excellent movie, and then he did
Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Another excellent movie. It's just oozing charm, and just I want to know more about this world and stuff like that. Where like in this movie, I didn't get any of that. I just like some of the scenes, but like to me, it felt like this was his first movie or like a college film. It just felt like a massive step back from the work I was experiencing from him up until this point. So I personally was let down.
Okay.
I would have to give it like a 6 out of 10.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it.
I'm not happy.
But
This movie did not help.
I wish I was like 9 out of 10. This great movie is so good, man. I can see why people constantly reference it and parodied it. But
All right.
I also
Parody it, sure.
I feel like most people that parody it probably never even seen it. Like they just know the gifts and because it's just that type.
Big scenes.
It's transcended that,
It's true.
but it's not like
Right.
something everybody sees.
All right. Dave, what say you?
I think I liked it a little more than Brandon there. I think the premise of it is super interesting because it's got something to say, and I just don't know if the execution of it paid off as well. I went and actually read the short story that this whole thing was based off of, and they
Same.
changed, some stuff there. It's like 6 pages. Don't go and think I read a lot of stuff.
Did you also read the comic? The comic
I did not read the
adaptation of the
comic.
short story? Okay.
No, I
Um,
didn't know they did that. That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
Mhm.
Roddy was good. He's like a poor man's Kurt Russell. You could tell
But
that
super jacked.
yeah, like this homeless dude who can barely afford food is somehow got like the neck like that's wider than
Dude,
two
he's got
pairs of
nothing to do.
balls.
He's drifting around to construction jobs. Of course he's gonna be jacked.
He brings his own fucking tools
Yeah,
with him to the
he
construction
knows what he's
site.
doing.
I don't, it's a union
Right.
job. I use my own tools, fucker. But no, the premise of it was super good. The aliens were, I don't know, interesting. I guess they did. I wish they explained a lot more. There's a lot that they didn't explain, and I would have like
If
taken
you
out some
read the
parts
short
and added
story, then you can see that there isn't much to this story to begin
we
with.
didn't even know. We don't know the names of the aliens, or
That's the point.
They're
It
the
needs to.
yeah. In the short
Are they
story they're
all
called
bad?
in the short story they're called the Fascinators. That's their
Yes.
But like,
Oh,
just from what we watched last week, where we watched Under the Skin, where like these aliens are silently merging with us, and we don't even realize it. And they, and like if one of them kind of goes off, they like will take him out and replace it with another one,
They
right?
already.
There's like this worker bee hive mind thing where this movie, we don't get any. I'm not that we need to know the other side, but like we just didn't get anything from the other side. Are they all like what are they doing here other than
That's the thing. I wanted to know more. I wanted to
Right.
know.
They're trying to
what's going
develop
on and
we
why
did
and-
get some of that.
it's
We
all in
got the why.
context clues. It's
there
never
were a third
given
world
to
country to
you
them?
directly.
Yeah.
No, they're
Let's
trying
go-
to
let
they're,
Mike go
they're trying
here.
to develop Earth. Whatever, we can get into it.
I want to hear.
Yeah, let's hear
So,
Mike.
You've seen this before. You said you saw it a long time ago.
I saw it 20 years ago or so.
Oh, okay.
At this point, I remembered very little. I just knew the ending, and I knew like the glasses stuff, but I forgot most of this movie. I realized, but I enjoyed it. Like I wasn't bored. Like when I watched Under the Skin, I was entertained. Like it's a slow burn movie,
Well,
but I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
usually don't like
why
slow
is
burn.
that? Yeah, why is that?
I don't
that
know,
you
I
liked
was
it
just-
more than
Entertained enough with it. It just because there's so many context clues in this movie. Like the movie doesn't tell you a lot, but like when you put on the glasses and you pay attention to who are the aliens. There's one small scene in a grocery store. The guy's like, "Well, you just got a promotion. I didn't," and the guy who got the promotion is an alien. Like little things like that they do. There's only one alien working instead of bank. Everybody else working is all humans. All the people you see shopping a lot of times, anyone that's wearing nicer clothes, they're all aliens, and all the humans are wearing like more rundown clothes. Like, they do little things like that kind of connected with me a lot more than I expected.
I like the mystery of it is good. Like it is. It's a fun ride. It's just.
Well,
I don't know how this movie has not been remade yet. That is baffling to me. How they didn't find
Probably
another
right.
way.
I think there was a movie in the 90s or early 2000s with Daniel Craig and Nicole Kidman about aliens and just how they're like
That's
infiltrating our
I
population.
think
but
that's isn't that a remake of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers though?
I don't know. It might have been.
I know what you're talking
Uh,
about.
Everything's a remake or an adaptation of something.
It's called The
True.
Invasion.
Okay, The Invasion. Thank you. All right, Eric.
Well-
close us out with like this round of opinions.
I liked it. I'm more with Mike on this one.
There's always one that's gonna be just like, yeah. There's always one that doesn't like it. I feel like between the videos.
No, I liked it. I mean, I don't think it blew me away or anything. I think it's like you said, maybe it's a B movie. It's a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, you let a lot slide.
6 out of
with
10
that.
quality movie, but I think I liked it as an 8 out of 10, if that makes sense. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. that's
So
fine.
like I can recognize that it's not the best acting. The story is not the strongest or whatever, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters. I thought, the main character casting Roddy Piper is super charismatic, and it makes
is.
sense. There's this he was the first in the wave of wrestlers to actors, you know, because now we see it with like Dave Bautista, we see it with The Rock, we see it with all these wrestlers getting into the acting business, which totally makes sense because when they're doing their wrestling, they're acting. They're already familiar with how to act. You know, it's a different type of acting, but it's still acting. It's still playing a character. So
you say that, it's all real.
I think it's a natural transition to see, you know, a wrestler become an actor. And I think, you know, as this character, for as little as, you know, if you, like I said, if you read the short story, if you read the comic, there isn't much to go on for this character or this story as a whole. Right. It's a very simple plot. This movie,
like an outline more.
Yeah. I think that's why part of why I liked this movie, because the plot was so simple. There wasn't a lot of moving parts. It was pretty straightforward. Like, he's a drifter. He's getting a job. He notices something, trying to get a job. He notices something weird going on. He investigates. He fucking figures it out, and then he tries to stop whatever's going on. Like, it's super, super simple, boiled down plot, which I appreciate sometimes. There's not a ton of complexity to it. And the camaraderie, you know, with Keith David and everything. Obviously, the iconic fight scene was fantastic. I thought the action was good and fun. Creature design was fine. You know, they were creepy. I liked the story, and I think I appreciate John Carpenter's ability to flesh out, you know, the source material a little bit more when he wasn't given a ton to work with to begin with. Like, so I think I like this movie. I'm somewhere on the spectrum, probably with Mike, but I can recognize that it's a B movie for sure. But I think I definitely enjoyed it. Got some enjoyment out of it.
I was curious to see. I was thinking about what would this movie be like if they cast an actor instead of a wrestler in this movie.
Well, John Carpenter wanted Kurt Russell again.
No shit. This character
that would have been
just Kurt Russell, pretty much.
But
they even said like him, like Roddy Piper, just like the kick-ass and chew bubblegum line. That's specifically from Roddy Piper's like book of like wrestling shit talking that he just had. Like,
I think he is usually like John Carpenter, like the director or something like that, is like the visionary. But I will say that yes, like for being the lead character in this movie, Piper did a hell of a job. Helping with the vision for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
He said so many wrestling moves during like the fights. I'm like, wait a minute, did he just put a Russian leg sweep in there on purpose just so he could do a wrestling move and suplexes and like?
Well,
it was.
I mean,
funny.
getting to that iconic fight scene, like I'm sure we've all, you know, looked up some of the facts, but it was not originally supposed to be this long. Like, Keith David and Roddy Piper were like choreographing this whole thing, you know, and practicing it for weeks. And they like did the whole fight scene for real. They only pulled punches on face punches and groin hits. Everything else, they were actually like hitting each other and fighting each other.
Dude.
Oh damn.
And it went on. So the total time on it is 5 minutes and 20 seconds, which is insane.
That's ridiculous.
That's a long time to be
for
fighting.
a fight scene. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, movie's only an hour and a half long.
Right.
You're taking 5 minutes out of it just to beat the shit out of each other.
Worth it in my opinion.
Yeah. My
Longer
wife was
than
so
you needed,
incredulous at that
it
scene.
was.
She could not believe. She's like, "What the fuck? They're still fighting
still
each other." Like,
He won't put on the glasses.
just when you
But
think
it's
it's
not-
over.
But I think the reason why it's not only like iconic because it's of its length, and just like the fight itself, just like actually seeing the scenes and all, but I think it ties in very nicely with what the movie's trying to say. It's really fucking hard to get somebody to change their perspective on something. Because most people are like Keith, where you're like, whatever you got going on, I got my own family to take care of. I'm trying to just stay out of trouble.
Keeping his head
He even
down.
knows that he killed police officers.
Right.
He doesn't know about the aliens at this point. So he's just like, dude just killed some police officers. And he's not turning them in. He's just saying, whatever you got going on, Stay away from me. I want nothing to do with it. And a lot of people in this world we know have that mentality. I'm guilty of it. We all are guilty of it,
Yeah.
right?
Turn a blind
You ever
eye,
been
yeah.
driving in the rain and seeing someone just walking in the rain? It's pretty fucking easy to just slow down, open your door, or lower your window and say, "Hey, buddy, get in." But we don't. We just like, God, I just don't want anything. I'm like, I'm sorry, whatever. You just drive through. Maybe I'm the asshole of the group, but like, there's like, all these examples, right? So I don't know. I just feel like this movie does a really good job, just kind of saying, what are we doing, America? If anything, America, like, what are we doing with our lives, with work, with consumerism, small talk with people? Do you really care? Wake the fuck up, because we are not being what we are capable of being, and you don't even know or care. And I just think that part played big into this movie. So when people have seen it, it's not like it's just a vessel to just have that. What are we fucking doing, man? What are we doing?
Good question to ask.
Like, it's ridiculous, but to put sunglasses on to see, like, you need something. Maybe for us it was like the internet to see reality, like what's really going on in the world or something like that. You
Dude,
know?
this
Like,
movie
I
is
don't
ahead
know.
of it. Was ahead of its time, because I mean,
Oh yeah.
now we see like it's everybody's fucking hypnotized, brainwashed, scrolling TikTok all day, oblivious to their surroundings.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we always have been. It just like it's just been. I mean, as humans, we're going to find ways to fill time. I mean, at one point it was reading newspapers. Like, oh, look at those guys reading the newspapers. Like, it's always something. It's just currently it's internet and probably more addictive.
Newspaper
everybody-
stand. I love it. That is something you don't see anymore. Do you?
no.
All right.
I mean,
They don't print them anymore, really either.
It is interesting because it does kind of turn the mirror on yourself, even like you said, Brandon. Like, we're all guilty of it. You know, you hear of all this horrible shit going on in the world, but you kind of just turn it off and go play video games to forget about what's really going on in the world. You know,
Hey,
it's just
you leave video games alone.
But it's
leave
true.
Video games out of this.
Escapism, not wanting to face reality. It's easier to not see things that are going on in the world, and that's what this movie's all about.
You can't, if you focus on everything that's going wrong, you'll go crazy. So,
oh yeah, 100%.
Can't. I mean,
go ahead.
One thing I want to bring up about this movie that I felt with it, especially now, is one, it feels like it is a take on the '80s when things are much more like, as America, you know, having a current boom. And I mean, I kind of look at this movie, you know, more in nowadays light to a degree, and I think it's one reason I connected with it. It's not even just the obey stuff; it's just a simple aspect of watching these aliens push out the humans and take over, and you just see even, you know, like we already have a divide, like, you know, like when the submarine went down, for example, and people were all like sharing very, very mean things that was uncalled for just because they're rich. And that's kind of what, you know, this movie, you know, in a different way, it made a lot more sense to me in 2023, where I'm like, yeah, there are people out there, and I'm one of them at times, where it's like, you know, we don't like people that are really rich because we're not. Except in this case, all the really rich are mostly aliens or people who have betrayed the human race.
Right.
Really
Exactly.
Cool to me.
Exactly. They'll betray their own kind to get rich or get what they want. Like we see it at the end there with the guy who was originally in the homeless camp, you know, with
that was just,
where he's like,
that was so silly.
Right. He's like, oh yeah, no, that whole scene at the end, I agree. That whole scene at the end was ridiculous.
What the fuck is going on here?
It makes sense though.
The whole
sort of.
There's a lot of what the fucks in this
Well,
movie,
to me, it was more of, here's a guy who he knows you, like, oh, I know you from work, or I know you from that place, you know, if something, you have a bond, and he's very full of himself and feels like he's top shit. So he's like, oh, hey, here, come look at what I, you know, when he's really just a pawn. Like, they don't get like, what are you doing here?
It was more they walked in that facility and they walked into like that ballroom and no one said anything or noticed them or like, what the fuck are those guys doing?
It's that B movie shit, man. It's like you gotta turn your brain off a little bit.
True. Like it was
fine.
it didn't have a problem.
What are we trying to say? This is a movie where it's just like, pay attention to the theme. What are they really saying? Carpenter's kind of an outsider anyways in Hollywood, right? Like, he really does say, get, you know, like, fuck you to the man. Like, he's kind of a cool guy. He does his own music for his movies.
Absolutely.
You know, he's literally calling out people.
And he's really into video games.
The movie that he's making.
Cool.
Wait, what's that?
I said he's really into video games too, which is cool.
Oh,
that's cool.
Is he really, or is he just making that one?
Yeah, he does. He does. I think he was like playing Baldur's Gate 3 and shit. Like, he's a gamer.
Okay, cooler guy than I.
why didn't he want better performances out of like everybody, all the side characters? Just ignore like the main characters; they were fine.
Yeah,
like there's some charm to Piper and all that stuff. Like, and
he's charismatic.
He's
yeah,
great.
Did you look up the budget?
$3 million.
Dude, well,
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
oh my god,
Yeah, no money.
$3 million and
like
made
Hollywood is just like
box office was $13 million, which it opened like #1 in the box office like the opening weekend, which was cool. So it was, I mean, it's a success.
Imagine this movie, but with like better acting and just better
Storytelling.
I think it wouldn't have as much
building.
charm. I think it wouldn't have as much charm as if.
I'm with Eric.
So you're saying the reason why people, because this movie has like 86, 88 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mhm.
I was like, how does this have a higher number? But then like some of the Schwarzenegger movies we saw are like 50s. You know,
I
because
remember
it's just like it's a dumb strong guy as a lead doing some fun one-liners and just like just watch him shoot fucking people down a hallway for like 10 minutes.
It's that
Like,
B movie
Roddy
charm that like it doesn't take itself too seriously, and I think that's kind of the whole point. Like they're trying to touch on some serious themes about consumerism and capitalism, but like they make it so obvious that it's not like shaded under these metaphors or anything like that. There's literally these big signs that are like obey, consume, like. That's just, it's so heavy-handed that it's just
black and white.
Right.
Yeah.
So
nice typography.
I think there's a lot of charm to it, which I think is why it's become a cult classic.
But
it's
there's
just
some weird stuff going on there. By the way, John Carpenter says he's addicted to playing Fallout 76. So
Dave's guy.
He's
right
just
there.
way cooler in my books, bro.
There you go.
No, there's just
cool. He's probably playing Starfield right now too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's just some like the weaving of the story, some of the scenes that it goes like, I like the beginning, like, and Roddy did a great job. He made me, he was believable in his like, just kind of hobo with a heart of gold kind of shtick that he was doing.
Is he a hobo?
He's a drifter.
Yeah, he's getting off a train.
He has a wedding ring. In the movie,
there is a fact on that because Roddy Piper is a married man at the time of filming, refused to take his wedding band off.
Right.
So that's why, and you see him with his wedding ring on in the movie.
But it worked for me that it's never explained. Like I was okay with it, and normally I'm not. That this character wasn't explained.
Maybe she's dead.
Nameless.
Maybe he murdered her on a train. And
it does give him a little bit of a mysterious backstory. Like he came from somewhere. Somehow he got into this situation that he's in where he's just drifting around looking for work. So
if you're Daniel Day fucking
he's got nothing to lose.
Then you can do that. But like it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like he was charming in the role, but like to think that he was this mysterious character, because like if you look in the making of this movie, Carpenter's like, make a backstory, but don't ever tell it to me. And then, like he did, he never told anybody's backstory. And I'm like, what was your backstory? Like,
nobody
knows.
Gonna come up
Only
with?
Daniel Day-Lewis is a method actor, and like he could crush a role like this. I'm being a movie snob here. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just like John Carpenter. You are so cool, dude. You're so artistic and creative, and I feel like he could have helped with parts of this storytelling. Like
John Carpenter said he just wanted a big beefy dude. That's what he said he wanted. I know,
but like he could have had a scene. He could have wrote a scene. Grab a picture of your kid in your phone, in your wallet, and you open it up and you just look at it, and we know there's some kind of family to explain the fucking ring. It's just, to me, it's just
we don't
sloppy.
need it though. We don't need that.
I need it. God damn it.
We don't need it.
No, I get where Brandon's coming from, because I usually am more like that, where I want more stuff. Like I complained about it in other movies I've watched. I don't know why it didn't bother me in this film, but it didn't. Like I like that there's no information, and I don't know why. I don't have a valid reason.
I don't know. The story's just like Eric said it before. It's like so simple and straightforward. It's just like mystery happens, and the mystery is cool that it kind of tugs you along a little bit. You're wondering about the church for a little bit. And then he's sneaking into the back room. He's the fucking clumsiest thief you'll ever see in your life.
I like that though.
Just trips over some shit. bashes into a
It's
He
wall.
trips
horrible.
over a couple times.
He
He's in the
knocks over a
marketplace.
wall. And, like the wall's super loud when he puts it back in. Like,
But they can't
Dude,
hear it
it's-
over the recording.
Well, but right, Mike. I was thinking about that. It took me like a whole day to realize this because he straight up kills 2 police officers just like in a back alley. Not even the back alley. Like as soon as you go in the alley, he's like right there by the sidewalk, by the main road. Kills 2 police officers, and then he takes like their weapons and walks out before he goes to the bank. He's like walking across the road and shit. People are walking around like they didn't hear it, and I'm like, how are people not hearing this guy gunning down
Because
2
they,
police officers?
the humans
But-
don't, the aliens do.
Right.
Because
Right. Yeah.
you
it
know
took me
the
a whole day
humans
to
are
remember-
brainwashed.
Yeah,
The
it's-
humans
they
are
have those-
fucking.
so they don't
controlled.
hear gunfire. I
See-
didn't catch that part.
It's supposed to
It's
be
not
that they're
that,
also
but-
being distracted by the signal.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
it's
Yeah.
part.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It took me a whole day to realize, like, oh, that's right. They
It's
showed a
just
scene
the
where that thing
signal
is.
is confusing everybody to show that we're all sheep.
And it tells them what to do. And in the original, so in the short story is called 8 o'clock in the morning. That was written in 1963 by Ray Nelson. And then there was a comic book adaptation of the story called Nada
Okay.
in Alien
Yep.
Encounters #6 in 1986. And that was illustrated by Bill Ray and written by Bill Ray. So
Okay.
the comic adaptation is what Carpenter was inspired by, and then
Mhm.
the short story is what the comic is based on. So like,
Huh?
The short story was pretty good. There's like there's
Okey-dokey.
some meat to that short story.
yeah, it's 6 pages long, but it tells it's a good story. It's easy to find online if you wanna check it out. But yeah, it's
I kind of like the ending of that better than the ending of the movie.
right. Yeah, it's interesting
Which
because I mean, spoiler alert for a
I don't wanna spoil a
short
6-page
story from
story.
I wanna read it, so
1963.
just- Yeah, tell me it.
Well,
And,
it's
like,
called
people can
8
skip
o'clock.
30 seconds ahead.
It's called 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's a little bit different. It's about this guy named George Nada, which we never hear the name of the main character in this movie. Like nobody ever says it. He's just credited as Nada, which is a nod to the, George Nada in the short story. But basically he's at like a hypnotism show, and
yeah, it's like
and like the hypnotist brings him up on stage, and the hypnotist tells him to wake up, and that's how he wakes up and breaks out of the control
That's fucking dope.
of the fascinators
honestly.
over
Like,
him.
That is cool.
I think that's fucking cool.
But
as
when
shit.
when they bring him back to put him back under, he doesn't go back under, but he
Right.
remembers that he's awake, and he has to pretend that he's asleep so nobody recognizes it. So like the aliens don't put him back under because he knows that
Dude,
if
that
he shows that he's awake, that
awesome.
they'll put him back asleep.
Right. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more.
TV show right now. Somebody needs to make that.
But
Like that.
It's more
sounds
bleak
like a
than
cool...
the movie.
yeah, he murders somebody in an alley that's an alien and gets like a watch and he gets some of the stuff. He goes to his girlfriend's house and he like murders an alien at the girlfriend's house, ties up the girlfriend,
Yeah, he's
steals her car, drives around for a little bit, and then ends up at the TV station, blows up the TV station, and then
well. What he does is he
the 8
goes.
o'clock in the morning part's the good part.
He goes to the TV station. There's one of the aliens is broadcasting the signal saying like obey, consume, blah 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 blah, repeating the shit. He kills the alien, but the alien's still on screen, and then he, like, off to the side is like, okay, wake up and kill us, basically, is what he says. And then everybody else wakes up and starts killing the aliens. And then, like, this whole, like, war on the aliens starts. But, yeah, the whole 8 o'clock in the morning part is, like, he talks to the police chief or whatever, and who's an alien, and he tells him, you're going to die tomorrow at 8 o'clock of a heart attack. And then does, basically, the next day. So he's like,
that is a better story than They Live. I am sorry, but that is cool. Where's
It's got
that?
some pizzazz to it, right?
I fucking love that
I
whole.
mean, they don't get out of this
premise.
movie.
it's
Yeah.
the
The
same
movie is just
basic plot, but like the thing about the short story is it can be interpreted as like, was he actually seeing these aliens, or was he just a psychopath and delusional and murdering random
Right.
people? Which makes,
Right.
there's a little bit more interesting things there, but it's a lot more bleak than They Live.
I prefer this.
this was much more fun than reading that short story, I would say.
Yeah, like I said,
read
you can
comic,
turn your
though.
brain off for this one.
The comic was the comic was good.
How was the comic?
It's good.
Is it closer to the movie?
Yeah, it follows the short story pretty closely, but a funny thing is, a scene in They Live was ripped straight out of the comic, and it's the last, like one of the last panels in the comic, and one of the last scenes in this movie was the girl having sex with one of the aliens
I love
after
that
they
scene.
wake up, and
Oh,
that's ripped straight from the comic.
I love that
Really?
scene where he just like, babe, what's wrong? And nothing. I love it.
Yeah,
It's a great way to end the movie.
I saw, and that at the end, I'm like, wait a minute. They waited till like the last 60 seconds of this movie to put boobs in it for
Dude,
what reason?
it was
I
so
know.
funny, 'cause I
usually get
confused.
that like
I
so
saw
confused.
in like whatever, it was like rated R for graphic violence, graphic nudity. I was waiting for the nudity. I'm like, where's the nudity? And then at the last second, like the last scene, it's just.
But that scene is perfect, though.
Yeah.
And normally I'm not big in nudity in movies unless it fits. I saw it about all the time in games my mom found where I'm very like, if they're gonna have nudity, it has to have like it can't be just there to be like sexy, because there's other movies for that.
Like
But it
under the
has to-
skin.
under the skin.
Yeah, under skin it
There
fits.
you
It's
go.
not sexy, and you have
Right.
it
And nudity
beautiful
is not
woman.
sexy.
not sexy at all, and I'm okay
Right.
with that. Like in this movie, it doesn't bother me because it to me it hits home like what's happening to these people and how much like people are having a relationship with these aliens, and all of a sudden the spell is broken, and when like the scene that you don't see is probably her screaming because her husband is not human.
Right.
So and ugly as fuck.
Exactly. So yeah, that
That's
was cool.
pretty creepy looking.
I love it doesn't end with a scream. It just ends with him going, "Babe, what's wrong?" And that's it. And I think that's a perfect way to end this movie.
Yeah, that was really good. But
The
no,
thing I want to bring up,
go for it.
like if you watch like when he goes to the bank and everything he does, that's where you get. That's the best part of the movie when he first gets the sunglasses and you have the great line. I had forgotten how much movie there is in between that until they go to the TV station to kind of where it just kind of lulls a bit. But there's
Yeah.
still so much just stuff in the background, just the way the aliens are, their conversations,
Yeah,
the
that's
things they
cool.
say to the watch. Like there's just so many little things that you have to pick up on.
Yeah.
And that's why I appreciated it.
Yeah, definitely. There were
I love all the old days.
there were a lot of convenient things in this movie, which again, it's a B movie. It's fine. Like the whole watch thing where the watch like breaks, and then like there's the emergency is like the portal opens, and that's how they get to the base and everything. And I was like, okay,
How
sure.
he walks
Eric.
into a giant bank and he starts shooting people with a shotgun, and then 2 minutes later he's just like running down the street. He's like, all right,
Sure.
I'm
Dave,
out.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's just like
how does
these aliens are in control. They're everywhere, but they're also really bad at their job. They know this guy's on the loose. They put his face out on the TV.
Yeah.
Not one person ever like says anything about it. Like they just like, why do they even bother showing it? Because people are just not even like alerting this guy. He's not trying to hide. He's just
Not
constantly
covered.
walking
Also,
through town.
How'd they get that?
for like?
I
all the
know
entire
I know
movie?
Mike wants to say something, but how did they get that picture of him on the TV? It was like a younger version of him. Like they didn't know who he was or his past or anything.
Right,
How did they
right.
find
Oh,
that
yeah,
picture
it's
of
dumb.
him?
It's dumb.
Whatever. It was, yeah. Again, just something that you just have to
B-movie
kind of
shit.
gloss over it. But yeah, Mike, what were you gonna say before?
You're younger, so you might remember this too. I want to say it's early 2000s when they had the stuff that said, like shirts that said like
Oh
obey.
yeah, of course, yeah.
And like it's completely referenced to this movie, but probably nobody wearing those stupid hats or shirts even knew about this movie. I completely forgot about it. And I googled it. I found pictures.
Well, it's
Oh,
that
yeah, dude.
that in like 1984, like the book. There's a lot of like
Yeah.
obey. Yeah, that's where I like saw the reference from. But
I remember it in high school. Like it was just starting to the end of high school for me. Like 06 when I graduated, I was like, this is stupid. I still think it's stupid, but I like it in the movie. But yeah, I had to bring that up. 'Cause I was like, Eric might know.
yeah, definitely.
I remember that. I remember-
I remember
older
that.
than me.
Obey,
Sure.
and they probably had such success that they probably pulled some of those capitalistic shenanigans that all successful brands do, which kind of goes back to this movie, which is trying to call out that shit. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Just because it's on sale, you're buying it. Do you understand
You're
how
saving
dumb that
money.
is? If you really just take yourself out of like capitalistic kind of Western culture and just look at it as like a human being or as an organism, just like look at what we're doing in our free time. Why are we fucking so caught up into this bullshit stuff? That's what this movie is doing. It's like a big wake up call, right? It's like The Matrix probably was inspired by this movie because it's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like the life you are living is not a life. You
That's
just
what I
don't
was
even
thinking about the whole
realize it.
time is the
Wake
Matrix.
up.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're stuck in this
You know,
this state of, this dreamlike state. They don't even realize that
they
they're
lost
in.
and they don't even know it.
Right.
You know, and the
Exactly.
aliens are there, or robots are there, or AI, whatever, something's there, and you don't even know that it's game over for
Part
you
of
guys.
I think part of the movie too that interested me about like the mystery is like, as Dave and Brandon touched on a little bit, they don't really explain why the aliens are there, which I think adds to the enjoyment of the mystery
Resources,
a bit.
probably?
Because yeah, they're like, they don't know whether they're using the humans for food, for work,
No.
as livestock.
No. I think
They
it's
are-
just to live on Earth and be like, imagine going to Earth, but like when you're on Earth, you're like in the 1% or like whatever. You're just doing very well. You get all the benefits of that life.
Well, yeah,
So
but
it's like
what
us,
are they
like,
doing
in
with
the
like
short
the?
story,
They
they're
do
eating
mention
them.
it in passing.
Yeah, that's true. In the short story, they are eating humans. Yes.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that. Hey, under the skin. It's more
Straight
of
up,
like
right.
they make mentions. I feel like they make mention that the planet isn't doing as well. Like they're using all the resources.
Yeah,
Somewhere
yeah.
somewhere I remember hearing that.
Yeah, they are basically they're developing Earth as like a new place for the aliens to
Harvesting
sell.
resources and-
Yeah, harvesting resources and selling like land.
And I'm
to,
assuming
like, live
people are
there.
going to be slave labor. Like I think that's what it felt like to me too. The whole idea is that by them having all like this subliminal messaging that is going to
They're controlling
essentially-
them for something. For some use.
They control the media, they control the politics, and they control all the big business. That's what they were saying. Like they're literally controlling everything. There's
I
nothing
love how
you can do. So why
the
don't we just
president
give up? Kind of.
is an
Right.
alien. You see him on
The
TV.
president's alien. Yeah. Yes.
That was
of
great.
course.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like when people in like reality are like the man is behind it. The man is like doing something. Like there's always like some guy behind the next guy that's like puppeteering this whole thing.
Yep.
And like freedom isn't
This
real,
Matrix,
man.
the lolly
It's
lule
just,
low.
like, it's a lie.
Someone
What
did
did
it.
you guys think of the music while we're dancing around this movie?
It was
I
all
got
like
kind of sick. I got kind of sick of that bass line after a little
it
bit.
was
That
all,
a
it
little
sounded like a
overused.
1950s like PI movie or something,
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
a western almost. I don't know.
I
It was
thought
a-
it
it was a
fit,
funky
but
one.
it was overused. Like the same theme was.
Forgettable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And John
John
Carpenter's known
Carpenter
for his
does
like
good
music,
tunes,
his
I know.
scores, So like, yeah, I don't know. This one probably isn't tops for music, that's for sure.
Budget wasn't there, man. He probably just had like a little time. He just came up with that jingle tune, whatever, and he's just like,
It did feel like I liked that it felt like a passion project for John Carpenter. Like he just read this cool comic and wanted to adapt it into a movie,
Who doesn't?
Right. And he after he read that comic, he like bought the rights to the story, and he's like, I'm gonna make a movie out of this. And so it's cool that it was kind of his own little passion project. It wasn't like, wasn't fueled by like the studios or anything, and he wasn't out to make big money on this movie. But
I figure that it's probably tough to
low
get
budget.
with the anti-capitalism kind of push on this movie. It's probably kind of hard to get like
Oh, yeah,
good
dude,
funding
absolutely.
behind it in general.
yeah.
True. Yeah.
But I think Kurt Russell would have completely changed the face of this movie. Like,
Yeah.
you could
And he
totally
would have
think so,
doubled the
too.
budget probably.
That too.
Yeah, probably in 1988 for sure.
Did he just say no to this movie? Because like it's clear as day that this
John
character was
Carpenter
meant-
didn't want him again because he just thought he was using him too much because he used him for 4 movies before this movie. So he's like, he went in a
Right.
different direction. He was like,
Right.
I
Apparently,
just
the
think,
first movie he used him was called Elvis, or something
Oh,
like
really?
that. He like played. Yeah, he played
Oh.
Elvis.
Escape
I
from
gotta
New
check
York
this
is a thing and Big Trouble,
Yep.
Yep.
So
which now I gotta see Escape from New York. So add
Yeah.
it to the list. All right, if you guys are gonna recast anybody in this movie, take Roddy Piper out, remake this movie now. who is your Nada? Yeah, I want like a full reimagining of this movie. I want a fleshed out.
You know who
Just get Batista, another wrestler in there.
I want a universe built around this. No, Batista's too. He might actually work. Actually, he's got some range.
What about Tom Hardy?
That's a good choice. I like that.
Okay, okay.
He's pretty good at being like a wanderer, like he was.
Dude, Mad Max. Yeah, Fury Road. Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what I was thinking. I like that. I like that choice.
Homeless hobo bag.
If you want you want. I mean, I guess Tom Hardy has the charisma. I guess it depends if you want
fighting scene.
If you want to do a a grittier, darker take, or if you want to keep that like lighthearted spirit. If you want to keep the lighthearted spirit, go with Batista. If you want the grittier take, go with Tom Hardy.
What about Hugh Jackman in here? Get like a Hagrid hobo Hugh Jackman.
I don't know. Maybe.
Is he too pretty? I don't know. I mean, you can't use.
He's got to be rugged,
like a Wahlberg or a Hemsworth or anything like that. You can't be too recognizable, but
yeah, rugged. I think Tom Hardy. I like that answer. Good, a good pick.
No Cena or Jason Momoa.
These are too obvious. You're going through the pitfall of
The Rock.
You gotta get like a
The Rock.
I'm an actor now. I used to fight. Now I'm acting. I'm an actor.
Oh, so Stallone? Are you saying Stallone should be in?
What about Christian Bale then?
No,
he's not jacked enough.
You gotta have the fight.
He's got that darkness to him though. He could be.
He's a psych. He could play a good psychopath. I mean, American Psycho. But like I said, if you want to go a darker take, then sure. But
yeah. And then for who was the Keith David character? I forget his name. Let's get some Michael B.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel.
Oh, Denzel. Yeah.
No,
sure.
Maybe a little bit younger Denzel if we can go back in time, but yeah.
Right.
I bet he could still do it. I just watched Two Guns.
Chris Tucker.
Not too long ago. That was 2011, and Denzel Washington works.
Fucking I don't know.
No.
Jamie Foxx.
Michael B. Jordan from Creed. That's who you want.
Dude, that's a good
Michael
pick.
B. Jordan.
Because he's
I'll take him in anything.
Because he's jacked and he's a fucking solid actor. So there you go.
That's true.
And those are like the only two actors you really need to worry about.
I will agree. The Holly character
is totally just like there for no fucking reason except we just have to have a woman in
I will give it credit.
Push him out the window. So I have a comment about. I have to. Now you guys brought it. Made me think about it. When she throws him out the window, I'm like, man, that window is weak. What if you trip?
Dude, it was so poorly done. He just like goes to the TV and says something, and she just chucks him. She hits him over the head. He just falls.
I will give this movie credit. I will give this movie credit. Anytime you see, like, especially in this era, 80s, whatever. Anytime you see a woman and a man in a movie, they're going to end up kissing or having sex or something.
Right? Yeah, sure.
Which in this one, like when he had her in her apartment, I thought for sure she was going to like get all doughy-eyed and see that he had a heart of gold and they were going to kiss and whatever. But no, she turns around and smacks him with a fucking bottle and pushes him out a window. I like that part.
I did too.
I thought the whole time she was a poor man's Kirstie Alley. Like, just cast Kirstie Alley. They have the same eyes. Kirstie Alley's much more attractive, a better actress. She was so popular at that time. Budget was just not there. The producers were like, you can have what's in the couch and then go make it.
Not during the heyday of Cheers. No, you're not getting Kirstie.
Ooh,
and I liked...
Hey, I've been to that bar.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Dude.
I liked the turn at the end for Holly as well. Like, I honestly, whatever, maybe you guys saw it coming, but I honestly didn't see it coming. And when she pulled her gun on Frank and shot him, I was like, no.
Oh my God.
They just kill him.
They just
like,
unceremoniously.
And then you just hear it.
And
he's dead. I'm like, yeah, I mean, both characters get killed in the end of this movie.
Right. Yeah, no one survives. I mean,
I applaud a movie to do that. I think that is interesting, but I felt like it landed so flat. Because, like, he could have had a moment where he's just like... Because, like, that guy had a wife and kid. Never got to them, right?
True.
And it's just like... But it's like there's no emotional connection to that death. It's just like, wait, fuck. He's dead? killed off camera.
I was sad
then-
because I don't know.
I
But
was
it's
sad
sad.
too.
But the next thing is just like him like doing jokes like, oh, I'm gonna fuck it, man. It's just blow up the thing, and it's just like there's no emotional weight to that guy's death.
Well, also
To either death, honestly.
there was no way out of it for him.
Yeah,
So I guess he didn't have much of a choice.
And he also, he didn't really have much time to do anything else,
He had plenty of time.
Yeah.
That was the worst helicopter sniper I've ever seen in a
You
movie.
had to turn around the
Like,
helicopter first.
The
you know? Come
helicopter's
on.
talking to you, so we have to be looking at you, and you're gonna put up your gun. Hold on, let me turn around and get my sniper over so you can.
Let me
see
put
you.
my
And
gun
then
down.
Just
Right,
slowly
right.
turn to
Yeah.
the side. Like, what is going on? These aliens are dumbasses. How did they
Dude,
take?
everybody's
Those
dumb
aliens
in this
are
movie.
dumbasses.
They're- But maybe they're all sleepy. But like, even the fucking besides the cops are really bad at their job in this movie. But the people when they're like underground and they're like trying to hide from the aliens, they look like they're holding like an AA meeting or something like that. Everybody just goes in a room. Hey everybody! Oh, did you get the glasses? You found out? Whatever. You should look around, have some coffee, and all this stuff. They're just like, the fuck is wrong with you guys? It does not feel underground at all.
I don't know
Like, it
how
just
they're
seems
making.
like anybody could walk in and see this shit or hear you. Like they're just doing a horrible job with security. And then the guy's like, "Where's everybody? Half the people are here last time. We're never gonna stand a chance." To like, they probably saw your operations. Like these guys are fucking clowns. I'm gonna get myself killed. And guess what happens? 10 minutes into their big meeting, they're all fucking gunned down. They're like, the one woman's like
Badly,
trying to
too.
grab like sunglasses. Oh, glasses. She gets shot. The way that people die in this movie, there's this one woman in that scene. Oh my god! Yeah, I legit laugh.
she just falls.
She
to the
falls
side.
and she
just
like
goes this.
shakes on the ground, dude. It's a horrible death. Like I would just like somebody compile all the deaths.
I
in
like
this
that
movie.
stuff. That stuff.
I did
yeah.
too, actually.
Oh,
It was just
you guys
over the
probably love
top
it.
and
it's so cheesy.
It is cheesy, but it just added to the movie for me.
It's supposed to
But
be
there's like
cheesy.
there's 10 people in that scene, 20 people get shot, and there's still people running out of that building. I'm just
It's
like,
fine.
the editing is just so clunky.
It was just other people in the building. It's fine. Don't
Well,
think.
yeah.
Don't
they
think
probably
about it
shot
too
that movie
hard.
in a week.
Clearing out the hobo camp in the beginning. Like they've just got. Like cops are just running down the street with riot shields. I'm like, where did these guys come from, and how long have they been running with these shields down the street?
They're aliens. They're fine.
They're probably not all aliens, but
I did like that
But
the
it was so
aliens in
weak.
this movie, like they were like defenseless. You shoot them, they're dead. They don't have any
Yeah, they were just
weapons.
like people.
They don't have any
True.
self-defense. The only defense they have is their signal, which their plan is not great. They have one central location where this signal is beaming out, and if that gets destroyed, their whole operation is fucked. Like
It's conveniently next to the guy who takes it out
in the TV station in town.
in a day.
Yeah.
He discovers it. They spend a night in like a hotel room talking about shit, and then the next day, blowing
Infiltrates
people away.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of did
Yeah.
fall ass backwards into everything, which again is fine for the.
But it's
you know,
very
for
Well,
the
much
plot.
that's
see
like
that they were very proud of themselves and they were too ignorant of the
Exactly.
humans.
That's true. That's part of it.
That's-
Yeah.
and that's how
Probably.
and that's how I took it. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
that's fine. Did you guys
Because
see
I
there's a
mean, they
massive?
didn't think they needed to.
Right.
They also
Do you
think
think
they won at this point. Like that's how they perceive it, is that they won. They beat the humans. They're just cleaning up, and then this guy just decides to say, "Oh, let's change everything."
True.
Mm.
Got too comfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys think that this movie has a massive tone shift, like kind of like abrupt? It's like a slow burn. He's just like chuckling, like kind of looking at like all the homeless people and like what they're doing, and then he like works like a job, whatever, and it's just seems very mundane. He's like slowly but surely like kind of like something's going on with the TV and the people here and all this stuff in that church, and then the next thing you know, killing cops, goes to a bank, just starts gunning down people. He doesn't question his reality at all. He just thinks like, oh no, it's definitely them. Starts gunning people down, and then he finds David's character, and then they have a fight. They join forces, and then he just goes on a shooting spree at a TV station. It just seemed like from
Pace,
dusk till
yeah,
dawn,
it's-
where it was like
it's-
a ultra drama to like a B movie horror movie.
It's not really
this
a
movie
tone.
just-
I think it's just pacing issues. Like,
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's just
Yeah.
like no action
some
early.
times-
It's just like
yeah,
action to the end of the movie.
I do
First
agree with that.
Slows down.
I was
here and
like,
there.
I was looking at, as I was watching it, it did start out slow, and we were like halfway through the movie before we really discovered what was going on, and he actually got the glasses and was able to see. The movie was half over by that time already. And then there was like 5 minutes left before like they were infiltrating the cable station in the TV studio and everything. There was like 5 minutes left. I'm like, how is this movie gonna wrap up in this short amount of time? So I agree, there was some pacing issues in this movie.
And I wanted like more bonding between the two actors there.
I
Like
agree.
they just kind of like shot their way through it, and
their
then it just
bonding was
ended.
they fought it out, and now they're buddies. Like that's it.
Mutual respect. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Roddy could have used maybe 2 hands on his gun at any point during this movie. Would have been nice.
He had the assault rifle with the handle where he's like.
I understand. That's all he does is like. That's the one thing that was bugging me is he's just like aliens up on the roof. He just goes one arm, doesn't aim, doesn't like look down the sights.
Every action movie
going,
they're firing from the hip. Have you seen a Schwarzenegger or Stallone Rambo?
Arnold, Arnold's not waving it around like a wild man.
Yes, he is. We watched Predator. We all watched Predator.
The action in this movie is fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's just kind of like, hey, let's introduce this like this chunky guy, like a bureaucrat bullshitter guy. Like, oh, let me show you around, everybody. He goes around and talks, shows him the ins and outs. Then he's just like unresolved. Whoa, see you later, guys. I gotta go, and he leaves. I'm like, fuck that guy. He should be killed off.
That guy did. Yeah, he did get away.
Nobody gets their comeuppance. They're just like unknown character after an unknown character. There's no like villain that we want to see. Like in the beginning of the movie, you're usually introduced to a villain, like an antagonist or something like that. It's like, yeah, fuck that guy. We're gonna.
The villain is all around them.
Yeah, I know, and it ends with the people standing, like realizing. And
they're waking up.
I get that, but like one of them could have been that fucking fat guy, just like I don't know, getting his comeuppance in some capacity. He was human, but because that's what's worse is like they could have done more with that, where the people were selling out their own kind. They could have done more with that, and they talked about it, but it never resolved. He just like zips out, and then they're just like, oh, Holly.
It's like in Ghostbusters when they dump all the marshmallow on Walter Peck at the end, and like, yeah, fuck that guy. I got marshmallows dumped on him, and then that's it. And you're like, all right, it's good.
I forgot about this.
That guy
Something.
Speaking of Ghostbusters, did you notice the Ghostbusters EKG meter that they were using? It's straight up from Ghostbusters.
Wait, no, I did not see this at all.
Yes,
where was this?
It's in multiple scenes in the end.
They were using
these security guards are like
as communicators. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're straight up from Ghostbusters. The same exact like EKG meter thing. Yeah. Yep. I was like, what the fuck?
Thank you for bringing that up. I was like, what is that doing in this movie?
It's like they went to the prop department next door and they like Ghostbusters shot there. And they're like, oh, let's use these as communicators. I'm like, what the fuck? Like it's so iconic. It was instantly recognizable. Like that's from Ghostbusters. It's so funny.
Well, I'm dumbass thinking like maybe they exist in some other way. I'm like, oh, did the movie use them because they're real in some way and people are like, this is a thing to use these things?
But it was a completely different function. It was so
got it for cheap. Here's this prop we got. Here, let's use that.
Yeah, I thought that was
apparently they did.
Really
and that was one of these things. They did live. They lives. They lives props were definitely recycled from other movies. And they actually mentioned the Ghostbusters in here.
That's so funny.
No budget.
The movie was so low budget that they rented various things from prop houses, and that's how they ended up getting some of those devices. So
okay.
They did that on Big Trouble in Little China as well,
it's an interesting thing to think about now that I'm like going over like what I just said, how like this movie doesn't really have a main villain. It's just like this. There's like no character to represent that them, right?
It's more of just. I mean, the aliens, but also it's more of just like the rich society is the villain because they're aliens.
Right.
Right. And then John Carpenter does Big Trouble in Little China, where the main character is not the hero of the movie. It's his buddy who's doing all the karate moves. He's just this dumbass who just has some good reflexes. But everything else, he's just kind of a pompous idiot that's just like kind of like in the way, right? Fumbling along, arrogant and like, we'll take my truck and all that shit. And in this movie... It's like he's so John
wanna
Carpenter's
watch Big
doing a
Trouble
good
in
job
Little
with like
China
kind of
again.
messing around with standard storytelling.
Me too.
Movie
Now.
is so good.
It's so good, man. We might have to watch the first movie where we rewatch and talk about it. Again.
So good. It was so good.
Yep, still good. Oh no, it's still good. I know, I like that scene.
But Carpenter, real quick, Carpenter has some really good movies. But after this movie, I don't know if he's done a good movie since. Now, I'm sorry if there's a Carpenter fan out there, but I looked at his IMDb and I was just like,
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know much
I
of
don't think
what
I think
Carpenter's
this guy's
stuff after
lost
the
his
80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's lost his touch, unfortunately.
Village of the Damned. Like some of these ones look
it was a
familiar.
remake.
but
Village of the Dam is good. I think.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a remake from
I-
the 50s.
Escape from Escape from LA is 1996.
Yeah, they were
Really?
dumb.
Wow. Okay.
That is wow. I didn't realize they're that far apart because Escape from New York is 81.
Yeah, dude. That was a
Wow,
big deal when
that's
it came back. It
crazy.
was like, why are they bringing it back? It was weird. And the first one had like some charm to it. Where the sequel, I don't know.
I've seen
I didn't like it.
The Vampires one once. It was on Sci-Fi. And I remember watching part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
I haven't even heard of some.
Or
of
like
these
look
ones.
at the IMDb ratings or like the Rotten Tomato ratings, and they're like literally in the 30s and 20s and shit. Like he goes south real quick, and all those movies I've never heard of. Nobody's talking about them, and it's a shame because I feel like after this movie, he just lost his touch.
And he got older, I guess, too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
True.
I mean, Vampire sounds like it's right up his alley. So I kind of want to keep the ball rolling. I want to watch these escape movies.
But he did stop pretty much because his last movie's 2010, then he was done.
Yeah. He
Right.
retired.
He's been gaming it up.
He's been playing all that Fall 76. I'm telling you, that'll keep.
What
him
am I
busy.
doing making movies? I could just be doing this the whole time.
I mean, hey,
he's
at that point, he's
he's
probably famous enough.
75
Like,
now.
Yeah.
Like,
Apparently,
yeah,
he
I-
loves Sonic the Hedgehog,
Oh,
smart man.
including games Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Mania.
Those are good games,
well,
I think.
those are
Sonic
good
Unleashed
games,
and
though.
Sonic Man.
He
Okay.
also
Yeah.
expressed
Yeah,
an
those are
interest
better.
in making a film based on Dead Space, which would be sick.
That would be
Ooh,
fucking
that would be
sick, dude.
That's
I
a
wish we
Carpenter ass movie right
give
there.
me
Yeah.
that, Carpenter. Give me that. Fucking do that before you like really can't make any more movies.
I mean,
Oh, he's done.
yeah. I mean, he's
Why?
what?
Scorsese's
He's
still doing
75.
movies.
He's 75 years old. He could.
We're not getting a. EA will never. I mean, if EA even let it go, they're like, all right, now how are you going to charge some people extra while they watch the movie? How can we get more money out of it? So it wouldn't work. I was like, do you want to see part 2? Please insert a $5 bill.
Right.
So
Well,
Or EA.
we've been talking for a while on this one. Do we have anything to say else to say before we wrap it up? Some closing comments.
It was a fun one. I didn't want to make it sound like I didn't like it. Like it was a fun movie.
fun,
It
very
just
fun.
wasn't like you said. It's a B movie, so you got to come at it with a little,
Yeah.
I guess lesser expectations. I don't want to say lesser expectations because
lesser expectations is right. I mean, what you
Yes,
mean
sir.
is like
It's not
lesser
meant to
quality
be.
expectations.
Yeah. John Carpenter knew what he was making. He knew he wasn't making a fucking Oscar-winning cinematic masterpiece. Like
Yeah.
this
And
is
clearly
what he
not.
intended to make.
and the year. I mean, I think that's a big part of it too. Is that it's a very 80s film.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Oozes 80s.
That
for
needs
sure.
to be remade.
And
Let's
action,
just all
yeah.
agree on that.
Yeah,
This is something that could use a remake. I don't know how.
I could see it. I could see
But
it
go
happening.
Go back to
but-
the short story. Go back to the very beginning. Don't remake this one. Let it be its own thing, and then start
okay.
at the
Yeah, stick closer to
start
the
at the be-
That
closer to
beginning.
the short story. Yeah, and the
keep
short
it
story,
at 8 o'clock in the morning. Follow that to the T.
right? That's cool. I like movies that kind of have
So
like
cool.
a timer. You know, like this is gonna
Yeah,
happen
kinda.
at the end.
like the movie's only like
you know
2
how
hours.
it's-
Like
yeah.
under the
See,
Before Sunset. If you ever watched that trilogy of movies, Ethan Hawke, romantic movies, but it's essentially like they only take place in the hour and a half. Like
Right.
it's all real time.
That's yeah.
What's
I like
that's
that.
cool.
Yep.
Like 24, Jack Bauer shit.
Right.
But it's only an hour and a half. But yes,
Jack
think
Bauer
it's
can get
a-
a lot done in an hour and a half. Let me tell you.
never watched 24.
First couple seasons.
Either
Yeah,
that I've
it's
heard.
worth
Yeah,
it.
heard good things. Well, yeah, unless I don't know. You guys got anything else?
I got one thing I got to say.
All right.
So how do you guys feel about watching the same movie 2 weeks in a row? Yet Under the Skin, now you have They Live. Not that far off.
Same exact movie.
I know.
Oh,
It's
we
like
putting
the
our
same
sunglasses
premises, and I agree.
The concept is the same. Aliens have
Undercover.
infiltrated, and when I saw the They Live, I didn't know what it was about. I just knew that there was like those glasses,
Yeah,
and they let you see like the monsters. I thought they were just like monsters or ghosts or something, like I don't know, something. I had no idea they were aliens. So it is interesting to watch a movie like Under the Skin and then watch a movie like this, because like one, as we called, was a film that's really trying to say something.
You're not wrong.
And this one it's a B movie that's trying to say something, and it's using the alien kind of storytelling to kind of shake things up, to trying to say, what are we doing with our life? What is it to be human, guy? Like, both of them are trying to say. I definitely see a common theme across the two movies. That's just by accident, though.
Some parallels,
honestly,
yeah,
totally by accident,
for sure.
But I think that in general, though, with human like fascinations with aliens, because it's like if we look at ourselves in the universe, right? It's just like, are we alone? And then if we are, or if we're like so far from the next life that we'll never meet them, but like if we really are that, like, what are we doing killing each other? What are we doing with the beautiful thing that we were given, which is life? So just like when you have the thought or conversation around aliens in general, it does make you look back at the human race and like, what the fuck are we doing? But what are we gonna do tomorrow? You're probably going to cut that person off and get to the red light before they do. You're going to fucking like not pick up that trash you see on the sidewalk. You're just going to walk right over it. There's like things we could do, we just won't do, because like we are the way we are, and for better or worse, so yeah, shit like this does make you think, or at least makes me think.
No,
makes me think you don't pick up your own. It makes me think you don't pick up.
I'm a scumbag, apparently.
You just walk by
pick up your own goddamn litter,
right? I always pick up the trash.
You guys are funny.
I'm that person though. Like, I'll see something on the road, and I'm like, oh man, I hope they're okay, and I don't do anything about it. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Because we're programmed not to, in a sense. Like, I did it before. Actually, when I saw some guy pulled over once, I in a snowstorm, I pulled over in my little 2002 Neon a couple years ago, shitty little car. And I remember, I'm like, hey, do you need help? He's like, man, I got a tow truck coming. I'm fine. I'm like, okay. And I had a hard time getting my car to start back up and go. And I'm like,
can you make sure they got something to take both of us?
Right?
But like, I mean, and I also help people. There's been 2 times in my life where I was walking and somebody was stuck in the snow, and I pushed them, because one time my first time driving a car, like my first winter, I spun out on an exit ramp, thank God, on the bottom of the ramp, and somebody stopped out and pushed me out. So ever since then, if I see somebody stuck in the snow, if I can, I will get out and push them out, because someone helped me.
Yeah.
Good man, Mike.
But also, we're trained, like, I will never let anybody get in my car, because again, it might try to kill me. Chances of that happening, slim to none.
Crossing the line.
But like, I won't ever give someone a ride. I've only gotten into a car once with somebody when I was going to work, and it was a huge blizzard, and I lived down the street, and I was going to Sam's Club when I worked at the time, and I'm like, yeah, sure, you can drive me the 2 blocks. But I remember I'm nervous as hell sitting in their car.
Oh, right, yeah.
You're
you're prepared to jump out the door, yeah.
Oh, I would.
Sam's Club was back there.
I mean, I was ready. Like, hey, there's no cars on the roads. If I got to dip, I'll just dip in the snow. Like a huge blizzard, like 2 feet of snow. It was terrible.
But that's how we are, and like we all are in some level. We're all kind of like, good luck with that, just like sorry.
We all just wanna, we're all engrossed in our own stuff, and that's.
I mean, also in this day and age, everybody has a cell phone, so everybody has the way to call for help in most cases.
I know. You're not in trouble. You got a phone, right? I mean, come on.
Right. But it's true. I think we are all more akin to Frank in this movie. Like, we're just trying to do our own thing. We got our own families and our own lives to worry about. We're not. Yeah. So we're like, whatever you're doing over there, good for you. I got my shit going on over here.
Leave me out of it, especially if you're doing bad things. What the fuck?
Right.
Leave me out of it.
So yeah, it does make you think, for sure. Especially in the status of the world and human race and everything today. So yeah, it's It was a fun one. I had a fun time watching it. I'm glad that I
want to
watched it.
see.
I'm glad.
I want to see a TV show that takes elements of what we saw with this movie, with like the sunglasses, maybe keep that motif, whatever. Seeing the black and white world, the simple typography was really minimal, and I love that. I think that aged very well aesthetically. But give me the 8. What is it called again? 8:30,
8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning. That mostly try to keep that story as best you can. But give me a TV show, and make the character like I don't know, just like where he's constantly
TV show
like,
might be
checking
tough
shit out.
because they
There's not
die at
enough.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
You kind of isn't V kind
you
of
can
like
put a
that.
date on it.
I remember that from the 80s. That was good.
There was like a V later, like 2000s at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah, they restarted that.
but like slowly but surely seeing who's an alien, who's not an alien, where he like literally just goes, well, apparently some of these fuckers are aliens. I have no problem killing them. He doesn't try to understand them. He's just instantly just like,
Dude,
I
I mean-
fucking go because
well,
I've seen what they've been
it's-
doing.
It's funny because that sort of touches back on one of the themes from Under the Skin that we talked about as well, where
Crazy how this happened.
you know,
We
he
gotta
realizes
listen to that
she's different. She's not of this fucking world. He doesn't attempt
Well-
to understand or
Nope.
anything.
Burn
So
Burner alive.
he just
He was
fucking-
also doing other terrible things before he tried to
True,
run her up.
true,
So,
but
like,
the
he was just
first
a shithead.
the
Oh, is that a
first
human?
instinct.
Let me rape her. Oh, it's
Right.
not a human. Let me burn her alive.
Right, exactly.
It's literally the worst thing on the planet.
Well, the first thing was something else, then yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's a different.
First instinct is just to kill something you don't understand. But,
I mean, also in this case, it's kill something that also like could report you to prison. Like, oh, let's get rid of our evidence here.
True.
Fucking shitbag in that movie. That guy.
Dude, they
Yeah,
missed
yeah,
out on
yeah.
a big opportunity.
All right.
He's arrested. He goes to jail, and one of the cops is an alien, and the other cops is a human. And he's like, "Yo, come here for a second. Like, I'm not talking to you. What do you want, crazy guy?" He's like, "You gotta understand, I'm not crazy. They're fucking aliens, man. You got my go in inventory and get my sunglasses and put them on. I'm not putting them on. Like, what is wrong with you?" That could have been a whole scene they could have done. And he goes, and then the cop goes, he's like, there's some deputies like tries them on. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" And then the other alien kills him, snuff him out, right? It's like clean up an aisle.
You got half the screenplay done already.
I
Clean
could have
up
done a
on
better
aisle
Remake
job
it.
with this story. If come on, man. No, just kidding. I'm
Every
not a
time
fucking
Brandon
writer.
does that voice,
called-
I'm waiting to say, "Okay, Pilgrim."
Call
Every
up
time.
John Carpenter and tell him that. I could have done a better
He
job with this
obviously did
story.
a good job. People love this movie. I'm just saying, there's some missed opportunities.
You can find him at a convention someday, Brandon. Be like, I could have done a better job with They Live.
Right?
John, yeah, now that I found your attention,
It's like-
dude, let's remake the movie. Hi, by the way, I'm Brandon. I'm from Buffalo. Dude, you missed out on a missed opportunity with this cod.
Like, all right, thanks for paying your $50 for my autograph.
You think I haven't heard fucking feedback on the movies I've made? Get the fuck out of here. I hear that shit all the time. Have you played Fallout 76? That's what I want to talk
That
about.
is a gem.
Oh
right.
boy. All right, let's wrap this puppy
I'm
up.
good.
We've been talking for a while, but it was fun. It was a good conversation. But we'll come back. We'll take a little break, do what we got to do. Come back and play a little game right after this. And we are back with a little game that we like to call 20 questions. It's a favorite when we have the guests on. So this time it's movie 20 questions. Hopefully I didn't pick one that was too difficult because we've been talking for a while, so we can wrap this up pretty quick. But you guys know how this works. Ask me yes or no, a series of yes or no questions, and you get 19 questions and one guess. If you guess, you better be sure of your guess, because if you guess wrong, you lose. So, those are the rules, and let the questioning begin. Wants to kick us off?
Question number 1 for the jury.
No.
Does this movie have aliens in it?
No.
Aliens could live in the universe, but they haven't made contact with them.
Are
so
we the
don't really-
aliens, man?
That in
Are
this
we the
movie,
aliens?
Starship Earth, bro.
in this movie in particular, no, there are
Okay,
no
hold on.
aliens.
I want to ask.
Oh, it's not
I wanna
Star
ask-
Wars Ewok Adventures. Okay.
Thank God.
Right. Oh, are there? Yeah. Okay. No. Did this movie come out before the year 2000?
No.
Okay. Sorry. More. I was thinking the 80s or something like that. Okay. Is the main character a male?
Yes.
That's narrow.
That's 95% of Hollywood. So fuck.
Right. It's like
Unless he's watching a bunch of chick flicks.
you guys play Guess Who, with your kids. So it's like, if
Yeah,
you say,
it's a great game.
is your person a man? If they say no, you put down like everybody on the board, and there's like five. Because there's only like
There's
five women.
right?
Yep.
Have you watched that one thing where like, well, what do you mean a man? And like they're like, all right, are they black? Black. What's
Right.
wrong with you? And they're like, that's like, there's a really funny YouTube thing where like these two like progressive guys are trying to play.
That's
Guess
funny.
Who.
I gotta watch that.
It's
All right.
just funny, but
You're at 3 questions.
Ah.
So it's after the year 2000. It's a male lead, and in this particular movie, there is no aliens.
So in future movies, there are. So I'm assuming this is part of a franchise, and assuming that there are more aliens.
You're
to go.
assuming, or are you asking the question?
When you
That's a good
assume-
question,
I
though.
wouldn't assume
I
because he
don't-
didn't word.
don't
it could've
assume
just been
anything.
His wording.
Are you? So are we gonna ask if it's a franchise? Is that what we're gonna? Or
Yeah, it's a
one
good
of
one.
multiple films.
We should
Yeah?
ask that question. I think yes.
Okay. Yeah, Eric, what do you think?
This is a
What
franchise.
do I think? Yes, it is a franchise.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad we went down there. All right. Is this
Is
the
it-
first of the franchise?
Yes, of this. Well,
When they filmed this movie, was it the first one, and then they made more prequels, sequels, whatever?
did that answer that question? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I meant. So okay.
But
Usually when I say a franchise, the first of a franchise is kind of like the first one, because like Back to the Future, right? Then the kind of third one is like takes place in the past. So but it's still the third one in the franchise. Okay, guys, that means there's a prequel to this.
where did you get
No,
that from?
I don't get
He didn't say
that.
that.
No.
He just
Oh,
said it's part of
I just-
franchise.
Oh, okay.
This is the
thought
first
I
movie
had
of a-
prequel in there, and you said yes.
Just-
All
and
right.
the
I
fact
wasn't
that said it
saying
like that
I wasn't
makes you
saying
guess that
yes
it's
to
not the
prequel. Yeah.
All right.
that-
Well,
no.
his answer now has convinced me that there
This-
is not a prequel to this movie.
First.
Oh,
movie
you got
of a
me.
franchise.
So
Alright.
think of all movies
This is
without
still like
prequels.
95% of the movies don't have a prequel to it.
Does this movie take place Does this movie come out after 2010?
No.
Okay, so it's a 2000s movie, early 2000s.
Thousands joint.
First of a franchise. There's no aliens, so it's not Men in Black.
About you, Mike? What are you thinking over there?
Don't. It's not enough yet. I'm trying to think what I want to ask.
Is this movie based off of something? Is it an adaptation based off a comic, like some kind of previous source material? Or I want to know if it's original or not. So yeah, is it based off of something else?
I have my sunglasses on, so you can't read my expression. Yes, it is.
Okay, Eric, you look cool with white sunglasses.
Oh,
by the way,
well,
you're
thank
kind of
you.
inspiring me. I always like rock the black ones.
I like the
But
white. Yeah. I like-
you, yeah,
This is question
way
number
cooler.
8.
You're younger than me though. You can pull it off. I got white in my beard coming through.
I got a little gray coming in my beard too. So it's coming for me. My 30s are coming for me.
Dude, I'm 42 and I have a pure white like goatee section. It drives me fucking crazy. Now I know why Just for Men exists. It's not for
Listen,
the old guy.
I like
for the
it.
guy
It
that's,
makes
like,
it
not
makes
that
you look
old, but-
distinguished.
All right, I'll take
I like
that.
the-
I
I
shaved
like
it
it.
all off.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Does Batman fit into this?
Ooh. Can you play a video
'Cause
game
it's-
based off of this
Because it's
franchise?
a new.
Is that your question?
Yeah.
Yes.
What? David!
Well,
It could be. There's no aliens in Batman, right? Or is there?
Not normally, no. I doubt he's talking about
Not
Gotham by
normally.
I
Ghost.
mean, not
I mean,
normally.
Superman. Superman's a fucking alien, so
Fuck, that's right. He is an alien. All right, so it's not
Yeah.
Batman.
could be. Well, he's not in the. I mean, I am thinking of the what is it? The Nolan Batman franchise, where this would be
Ooh, which
Batman
was
Begins.
2000s.
Batman Begins was in there because this is part of
Okay.
the franchise, not a first. Is the source material for this a comic book?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Could be Iron Man.
Is the video game that's based on this in the PS2, GameCube, Xbox One era, or regular Xbox era?
So Brandon's question was, can you play a video game
Oh, okay. That
with
probably would
this
think we'd be-
franchise? But Mike, I mean that's a different question if you want to ask it. It's still
I think we're in the
still a valid
360
question.
genre.
Well, he's just trying to
360
lock
era,
in
though.
like the era, like is it early 2000s a video game? Because that would have been
PS2
PS2.
is still yeah.
I mean, there's
It won't-
another
yeah.
It won't go down
there's
for me.
there's another question you could ask that might help you, but I'm not going to give you any hints.
You just did. You just gave the whole thing away.
He's critiquing our questions,
Mm,
guys.
Is it a comic book video game? Wait, we already know that, don't we?
Well,
Yeah,
no, we
well,
know that.
We know there's a video game
Okay, then
based on it.
screw
And we
me.
know it's
Don't
based off
listen
of
to
a
me.
comic book.
But it sounds
Brandon's
like he knows
question
that
was there's
a
a video game. Brandon's question wasn't is there a video game based on this particular movie? His question was, is there a video game
Can
based
you
on
play?
this franchise?
Yes. Right. Yes.
So Batman still.
So the
fits.
movie is probably based off of the video game.
What?
Do you think that's possible?
I mean, we can play
No.
the Arkham Asylum games, but that's not anything to do with Batman Begins.
That's not the question.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ask
I'm
a
gonna-
damn question.
Yeah. Get
Damn
it.
it, 'cause that question won't help me then, the one I was thinking of, so I don't want to go there. We are.
Are we at
Is-
9 right now? Pick it up.
This
Pick
is
up
9.
the pace.
Is this an action movie?
Yeah.
It's a comic book.
There's action in
Well-
it. Yeah.
See? You see?
Is this a DC comic book character movie?
No.
Yes, it's DC. Yeah, DC.
Oh.
No.
Nope.
Nice
Okay.
call, Mike.
Could be Marvel.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
got to be
the only other
Marvel.
one- It's the only one. It's not going to be the Spawn movie.
When did those
Hey,
fu-
you never know.
Well, when did wait in the 2000s? When did those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies come out?
The Michael Bay ones.
Yeah.
It's got to be closer to 2010, I think. Probably 2007. But
Does this
yeah.
movie have more than one protagonist?
Weird.
Like, is there more than one lead character?
I mean, for
Iron
the
Man
for
has
the
one
way
lead
that
character.
you're
The
framing
Ninja
it,
Turtles movie has 4.
for the way that you're framing it, no.
It's not Ninja Turtles then.
If that's
Or
what you were
Guardians
trying
of
to
the
deduce,
Galaxy or
then
something
yeah,
like
no.
that. It wouldn't be Guardians then.
No, they didn't come out till like 2010s,
Teens.
right?
And this is
Yeah.
between 2000 and 2010. It's a male lead. It could be action movie. We know it's comic book
There's a
movie.
video game based on this franchise.
Here, I'm gonna either waste a question or be right. Let's see. Is Robert Downey Jr. in this movie?
No.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold on.
he
I
already
was
asked
say
it.
this franchise. All right. Fine. I'll allow it.
Final. This is my game.
No Downey Jr. So, is the first Avengers in this range?
He would have been in. That would have been 20. That's 2012.
It's not
Okay.
DC, and there's no Iron Man. What other movies in the 2000s were coming out based on comic? Watchmen.
Tank Girl. There's no Watchmen,
Watchmen?
video game. Is there a Watchmen video game?
Yes, there is. But
Is it any
It was
good,
a
Mike?
2D game, I think.
I don't. It's just a beat 'em up. It's a 3D beat 'em up for Xbox.
3D
360.
beat 'em up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
but
There's two of them.
good beat 'em up. Sure.
But Eric, I don't know if Eric would know that.
12. This is question 13 now. Here we got. I mean, I think we kind of know it's Marvel, but I kind of want to nail that down
What makes you think it's Marvel?
This is not
because
DC.
it's comic book and it's not DC.
I mean, we could ask that because if that's not the answer, that really knocks
Hold
it
on
down
a
to
second, guys. What's wrong with us? Marvel's fucking loaded with aliens. What's wrong with us? We cannot be fucking
But
talking about
the
Marvel.
movie didn't have aliens in it.
Yeah.
Didn't say the franchise didn't have aliens. It said the movie doesn't. Have
No, it's gonna be like Walking Dead.
It's not a movie.
That's not a movie.
Fuck.
Walking Dead movie.
It's a TV series and a comic book.
I'm at.
Might be Marvel.
Is this a Marvel movie?
Yes. Well,
okay.
hold on. That's a weird question. Is this a Marvel movie? That
Is it part of? Well, I mean, like, is it part
I mean,
of the
is it a Marvel
MCU?
Comics movie? Like, is it Spider-Man? I mean, not. I mean, it would have like that would all include like Spider-Man, Punisher,
Marvel.
Hulk, things like that.
Yeah.
I
Is
mean,
it based off a Marvel property?
there
How's
you go.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
Whoa. So who?
Between 2000 and 2010 is not Iron Man, so that doesn't give you a whole lot. Gives you Fantastic Four, Punisher, Ghost Rider.
Those aren't like.
No, these movies.
What about the Spider-Man flicks though?
Oh yeah, Spider-Man 2.
The
Oh yeah,
Tobies.
Spider-Man movies are all in 2000s.
Oh God.
There's also
It could be
X-Men.
Spider-Man.
No, it's male lead, and it. Do we ask if it was a group of people?
Yeah,
We just have
yeah.
male lead.
Yeah,
So it's not the X-Men.
It could be X-Men.
Okay, so
All right,
it's
hold
not
on.
the X-Men, not Fantastic Four. That narrows it down to Punisher, Ghost Rider, Blade, Spider-Man.
Have we named the name?
Ooh,
Have we
Blade.
named this movie's main character with what we just said right there?
All that. I
That's
mean,
not a yes or
Yeah.
yes.
I mean,
Okay,
I named
alright,
all the
alright.
movies in
Does
between.
that- I don't know if that
2020.
helps
No, that's
you.
fine. That's fine. That's fine because I don't want
Is
to.
that a question?
I mean, that counts
Yep,
as a
yep.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a question. It's a question. Okay, so it's definitely one of those. So you said Punisher,
Blade is kind of I like Blade.
but
Blade,
was
Punisher. There's
1990s.
also the Incredible Hulk. Is also between 2000 and 2010.
Right.
You guys
So-
are at 15, so you only got
But
4
you didn't say Hulk
questions and a
before.
guess.
You didn't say Hulk
Oh,
before.
I did not say Hulk.
So it's got to be one that you just said. So it was definitely
So
fantastic.
here, I know I have a question that will knock out
Go for it.
Blade and Ghost Rider, and only
Okay.
give a
Did
Spider-Man.
this person die?
No, I
Or
would.
no?
Does it have supernatural villains of like something like spiritual organization, like vampire? Something that's spiritual, like vampire stuff like that, etc.
I get when you put it like that, no.
Okay. So that takes out Ghost Rider and Blade.
How many questions do we have left, Eric?
3
We're on 16.
and a guess.
3 and a guess. Okay, we can do this.
So
We
that
can do
gives us
it.
Punisher, Hulk. I think Thor
Punisher-
is. Thor and Captain America
Punisher-
are after.
Punisher part of a series though?
Thor's an alien.
Because we know this
Okay.
is the first of a franchise. So I'm thinking of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Is that the first one? And it's got to be
That
in
is
the
two.
2000s.
That is, and that's 2000 or 2001.
My God, it is a 2000s movie. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but I asked him, "Is there a main character?" And he said, "No." Right? Didn't he say
No,
that?
he said yes. I thought,
Yeah.
You said ask if
Could've
there's
sworn
more
yes.
than one lead.
Yeah,
and
you
he
asked if
said
there's
no.
more than one lead, and the answer to that question
and we
is
know
no.
it's a male character. That doesn't help. I mean,
That was X.
there- There's no aliens like Venom. Venom.
No, no, that's way later.
Yeah,
Right,
Venom's
right,
in
right.
3 though, but he said no aliens in
everything
this
else.
one.
Is this
Yeah.
a Spider-Man movie?
Is this a Spider-Man movie?
Yes.
It is a Spider-Man movie.
Okay, all right, boys. All right, I don't watch those movies from the
Okay,
earlier
that's
days,
only
so I don't
when is Amazing
know anything
Spider-Man?
about 'em.
We said we asked if this is the first of a franchise, so it's
Also, not yeah. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man. You probably wouldn't consider that a first of a franchise.
just Spider-Man, the early 2000 version.
Did Sam Raimi direct all of those 3?
Yes. So don't ask that question.
Yeah, it's
I
Willem
mean, you would narrow
Dafoe in
down
this
to
when I asked
Spider-Man
that?
1 or 2 instead of Amazing Spider-Man. 'Cause I can't remember when Amazing Spider-Man is. I can't look it up to find out. So,
Well, that's the
No,
one
those
with
are
Andrew Garfield.
2010s. Those are
Yeah,
2010s.
I think that was like
okay.
Yeah. So we know the trilogy. It's just which
How many questions do we got?
2 and a guess,
2.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
Is the villain
Will-
green guy? Is oh god, what the hell's his name? The actor.
Green Goblin.
I mean, I'll help you out. You did already ask the question, is it the first movie?
I thought so,
and you
said yes, right?
I did say
Yeah.
yes.
So,
Okay,
it's
so-
the first one with the green
Oh,
guy.
So
yeah,
is Tobey Maguire in this movie?
No, he's in both.
Yeah, well, he's
Or
in
no,
all
that-
of them.
But I
Okay.
mean, like, is he in specifically in this movie? Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, I don't want Garfield being like snuck in 2009 shit. So okay.
It might have actually been like 2009. Well, whatever.
Well, anyways, okay.
look it
So
up
we know
after.
Tobey Maguire. It's the first one. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
is
gotta be- it's the first one.
But what's it called though?
This is your
It's
guess.
just called Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay.
It's just called Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. All right.
Spider-Man.
Is it Spider-Man?
Is it Spider-Man?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Sam Raimi's
Hey.
2002 Spider-Man. The reason and I picked it, it's sort of on brand because we had a wrestler turned actor, sort of, with Randy Savage in there as Bonesaw.
Amazing is 2012.
Bonesaw is ready.
Now that I can look it up.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's so funny because
fun.
like these movies came out in my childhood, so like they're at top of mind for me as like in the superhero pantheon of movies, like the
Right.
Sam Raimi
yeah.
Spider-Mans.
People love these movies.
But I'm
Except the
surprised
third one,
it
but the
took you
first two.
guys so long to get there because I'm like, these movies are like, yeah, I would have instantly, if it was a superhero movie from the early 2000s, it's Spider-Man. Like,
No, I know they were legit. They definitely stepped the game up with like what we're seeing now, where like he's swinging through cities and it's like the
I
spectacle of
think
seeing a superhero in
Spider-Man,
action.
these Sam Raimi Spider-Mans were the start of like the superhero movies that
Oh,
we
yeah.
see.
They
today.
are, yeah.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
I love
The
these movies.
quality of them still holds up.
Spider-Man 3,
sure.
not so much. Spider-Man 1,
Just
good.
too-
Spider-Man 2,
Too much
amazing.
in one movie.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
2
I've
was
never
Could have been
seen
really
incredible.
all of Spider-Man 3, actually.
It's fine. Not great.
But the Sandman shit in 3, from what I've seen, I haven't seen the whole thing, but like I remember like really liking that, but I hated the Black Spider-Man
No,
shit.
Venom and Topher Grace is fucking Venom.
Yeah. It was so bad.
Stupid.
Not
But
great.
when they remade those the Spider-Man movie, like the last one they did in the Marvel MCU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got all
Homecoming.
the different actors from the
Oh, I
different
love that
franchises
movie.
to
That
be
was
like
good.
very. It's like they tried to wrap up what they wanted with that trilogy. I think with like Sandman, like he had his moment.
I think they did.
in
They
that
did
movie.
really, really good. With
Yeah.
that movie.
If you're a
bringing the old
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
if you're a Spider-Man fan, I can see like why you love that movie.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, that was a really good.
No
movie.
Way Home. Thank you. Not
Mhm.
all those new ones. They all have colon subtitle
Yeah.
on them, and I get them all mixed up there.
Yep. This one's just
Far From Home.
Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
All
Yeah.
right,
Good shit.
take us home.
All right. Take us home,
Take me
country
home.
road. Let's go. Well, if you want to follow all of our nomad escapade adventure journeys, you can go to the nomadsoffantasy.com, our brand new website. Check it out. You can also join our Discord at the nomadsoffantasy.com/discord. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Nomads of Fantasy and TikTok, X. I refuse to say. If I'm saying X, I'm qualifying it with X, formerly
Just
known
say
as
Twitter.
Twitter.
What's your X account?
Right.
Even the
Go to
news
X
articles say Twitter,
Right.
formerly known Twitter. Like,
Formerly
yeah.
known as Twitter.
True.
TikTok. Brandon's been doing the TikToks. He's been getting some short form videos out there. They're always fun.
Yeah.
Some good ones.
Pumping them out.
Nice.
at the Nomads of Fantasy for TikTok, and he's also, you know, we got the YouTube shorts up there as well. Ooh.
Oh yeah,
What do you
he's
got in
playing
Snap?
out there.
Yeah, I just got a Spider-Man variant, and it was very fitting for what we're talking
nice.
about there. So I was like, oh, I'll just open my thing while I'm waiting.
Sweet.
Sorry.
But yeah, watch us on YouTube at Nomads of, or youtube.com/at Nomads of Fantasy. If you want to see our beautiful vases and our cool sunglasses. Yeah. I don't know. Mike, you got anything else to say before we wrap it up?
You can find me at Games My Mom Found.
There you go. There you go.
Over 500 episodes.
What's your next episode releasing going to be about?
Condemned is the next one that will be out later this week.
Condemned. Nice.
I forgot about that game. Holy
Good
shit.
game still, by the way. And then Silent Hill Shatter Memories is the one after that.
Damn,
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, if you like retro gaming, Mike's the guy that you want to listen to, because
How you do it?
He's playing everything over there, and I'm always impressed by how much you're pumping out. 500 episodes, like, yeah, that's insane, crazy.
It is, but I do 3 a week, so
yeah, it's a lot. But
I'm
all
still
right.
married somehow.
As always, we loved having you, Mike. It was a fun conversation, and obviously you're welcome back anytime for any other episodes in the future. But we'll wrap it up here. You guys got anything else to say? Brandon, Dave, closing comments? Check out our website.
No, I'm good.
That's it.
Wear your sunglasses.
Wear your sunglasses. See the truth.
Don't get so caught up.
Wake up.
Hey.
Don't obey.
I would say no. I'll say something.
Okay, I gotta stop the outro now.
The artist of the people need to definitely kind of like check themselves, right, before they write themselves kind of shit, right? What the fuck are you doing? Take a step back, and then that's it. Just like
good question
look at what you're doing with your life.
What
man.
the
like,
fuck are
what
you doing?
You gotta ask yourself that.
What am I doing?
Why am I listening to this podcast? Oh.
What am I doing with my life?
Whoever you are,
don't listen to us.
Please
go outside
stop
and start shooting aliens.
Oh my god, please don't grab a gun and just start shooting because of something that you think you're seeing. Please don't do that. Just look at what you're doing and think, like, could I do something more
just play video games. How about that? And enjoy your life.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
And join our Discord.
That's true. nomadsfantasy.com/Discord.
Live your life and then join our Discord.
Right. With that, as always, safe travels, Nomads.